Alright. I've heard about this one here and there, but yeah, nothing out there really gave me much to work with on what it really is. It just gets compared to Astral Chain most times, which I'm sure isn't right either, but yeah. Leave it up to me to find out for myself, so let's check it out. But first, this is Combat Overview. Here we go over the general controls, their main mechanics, who or what we use them on, and then seeing how it all comes together. A bit more in depth, but that's what we do. So Scarlet Nexus is not just about cool combos with launchers, air dashes, and all that, because the game adds assists for unique buffs that can come in clutch for some situational uses. But there's also psychokinesis to grab objects to throw at your enemies. So yeah, you'll go into this loop or rotation of using your sword attacks up close into spacing with thrown objects to set up staggers, and then call in your assist for powerful follow-ups. So yeah, it gets kinda wild. To square reaching your sword has a little 3-hit combo to start off with, but you get more as you level up. And yep, we have a launcher here as well. Help catches those flying enemies, but of course can set up some aerial combos. Triangle isn't a heavy attack to create different enders, but it's this wide sweeping crowd control attack that's also this combo extender, as well as a meter management tool. But yeah, a rule of thumb, can only use this attack once per combo. You can use it while grounded or midair, up to you. And speaking of that, air combos are not too bad. You got 2 slashes before it ends, but we have a double jump to reset that. And that triangle attack is an extender, so resets it as well. Of course, an air dash that leads into its own unique attack. Can insta air dash too while you're at it, because why not? You'll do a 1-2 into the triangle, into another 1-2, then double jump to get another 1-2, into a helm splitter, cancel that slam attack into an assist, then get your partner to tag in, setting up a crush, finally ending off with a double glory kill. Alright, and now psychokinesis. So holding R2 will grab a nearby object, sending it flying towards an enemy. You can do this while mobile or in the air. It will even hit enemies as you bring it in before you toss it back out at someone. Just a little extra damage. Now, cool thing is, you can chain a cycle throw into a melee attack afterwards for some kinda aerial rave follow-up, having your character zip forward to continue that combo like it's set on Kagura. And you can do the opposite as well. After landing a melee attack, can cycle throw right after. These do use up a bit of meter, but we'll get there soon. But yeah, can chain a throw into an aerial rave, start your combo from here, then combo into a psycho throw again, and yeah, it's a powerful loop, but again, it's based off limited meter that you gotta manage. But there's also unique environmental objects you can pick up that takes a bit longer to grab, but after a little QTE, you'll do big damage with these. And there's different kinds like vehicles, electric drone, get to grab this piece of metal to ride as a board, or the chandelier to ping pong off enemies before ending with a slam. Yeah, just unique objects found in select areas to mix things up. Now onto defenses. To start simple, we got Unukemi to break your fall, which is always a good way to keep the pace going. We have this dash step for quick repositioning. Of course, we have a perfect dodge. Works on projectiles too, letting you send them back to sender. And after any perfect dodge, you can do this multi-hit counter attack. Now this dash step does not cancel attacks. It might feel limiting early on when you have less options to work with, but that psycho throw does cancel attacks, and since it has you step back, it can be used as a pseudo dodge to reposition while still being on the aggressive soon after. And even our assists get in on the action at random. Your teammate just might step in for free, completely blocking an attack that would have hit you. And believe me, this will come in clutch at times. Moving on to the HUD, that red EKG-like thing in the middle is your health. The purple meter above it is used for psychokinesis powers. Fills up a little bit with those base katana swipes, but that crowd control attack fills it up the most. So not only is it a combo extender, but a great meter management tool like I mentioned before. Brain Drive is this momentum-based meter kinda. It'll give increased damage, faster movement, you'll toss items a lot quicker, psychokinesis meter refills on its own, and you'll heal while it's active. So yeah, it's an overall boost to everything we got. It feels constantly as you play, parries add to it, landing attacks, or if you're the one getting hit. So pretty much everything builds it up. So just stay in the action and it'll fill up eventually. And once it's full, it'll automatically put you in that improved, focused, buffed up state. It does slowly drain while active, so make it count. And while that is all going on, the longer you can stay in brain drive, it'll fill up this beat next to it. And once it reaches that little circle, can pop our next powered up state. Yeah, we have 2 of them. So pop it to go into this brain field where you'll take off your limiters pretty much, allowing your character to go off the rail with power. And because of that, you have a little timer to work with in here before you die. So it's good, but restricted to balance it out. And in the bottom right corner, we have our assist to call on to use their special powers for ourselves. You can assign whichever ones you want in whatever slot, but yeah. Just hold R1 and press the face button to call them out. They won't last forever. They're active for a limited time and will go on a cooldown afterwards. But you can manually end it early, setting them back for some meter management. It does cost a little to cancel sooner, but saves you from even more longer downtime. But yeah, we have some straightforward elemental ones. Fire to extend your range and increase damage a bit. Also a good follow-up on those enemies dunked in oil. Electricity to have all your attacks shoot out blade beams and build up this shock state debuff, leaving them open. We can slow time to catch those fast teleport enemies, extend an enemy stagger state to get the most out of that, or to help catch an end lag of enemies attack to get a punish off them. Clairvoyance is used to see those hidden enemies, or maybe if the area is covered by this smoke screen. And it also improves that counter attack from on perfect dodges to get an even stronger follow up, usually knocking them down more often. Want to add a teleport to your attacks and dashes? You can't get a perfect dodge while this is active, but this is great to avoid those lingering hitboxes to iframe through with ease. And there's enemies who will turtle up when up close, so a teleport attack will get you in fast before they even knew what hit them. You can also use this teleport attack to close the distance, letting you finish off one enemy and instantly go to the next. There's one to give you hyper armor, can tank all those hits with no damage by the way, but it chips away at its uptime. So more hits and the damage you take, the shorter and shorter it lasts pretty much. So yeah, it lets you get revived with these. And if you notice, I can call assist mid-animation no matter what you're doing, which means you can even do it while it's done to save yourself from follow-up damage, or to use a heal with some peace of mind. But it doesn't have to be for defensive plays only. You can use it mid-combo to continue what you're doing without interruption, or to grab unique objects for free since they take a little longer. And you see that quick teleport summon to close the distance? Things are starting to add up a little bit. But yeah, the craziness isn't over yet, because there's one to duplicate tossed items for double damage, all while creating this mirror image of yourself dishing out 2 times the amount of hits. And speaking of 2s, can summon 2 whole assists at the same time, creating some cool interactions. So now both of you have flame swords. Now they have more than just abilities to hand out, because later on they'll have access to these unique attacks that cost 60% of the meter. Just hold L1 this time and press the face button to have them jump in. There's an up close punch to heavily damage enemies with protective armor. There's a yank, pull in to start combos on them. Electric pillar to anti-air. Someone who will launch them up to spike them down. Seems like an OTGs, but either way it's damn cool. And these can be comboed into from your base attacks, but they can even be comboed into each other, creating assist combos. And there's so many people on our team now, we get a whole second page to fit them all in. Which means we can hot swap on the fly just by double tapping R1 to switch sets, and there you go. And there's a chance for them to even want to tag in to follow up your combo with a special attack of their own, dealing massive crush damage. And the further you build their bond, they'll want to hop in more often. And when you have multiple high S-Link members on a team, it can get wild, just multi-chaining these at times. So with all these options, you're going to be swapping a lot for those situational setups you find yourself in. which means, yeah, your actions per second is going to be off the charts. Tossing an object into that rush follow-up, fast assist summon to get that perfect dodge, buff counterattack, do your max base combo quickly and the last assist manually, to then double tap R1 to swap the page for more options, set up a dual summon right after, then end a combo with an assist attack to push him over into a crush state, setting up a glory kill. Yeah, a lot of buttons being pressed in this one. Now to get all these extra options for teammates, there's a subsystem here for social links to bond with each member. You can text them, go on missions as a duo, have little visual novel chats, and can even give them gifts. Who would have thunk it? Now the enemies you'll take on are these jobbers who walk around slowly and swing occasionally, but yeah, they're easy juggle food. These armored wheels that'll shoot at you from afar and spin once close. Deer who will rush you. Four-legged thing with metal spiked helmet, but you can break it to get a big stun. Then the turtling jack-in-the-box will hide once you're close, but like I said, use a teleport. This duplicating plant-like thing that'll shoot at you, but like the name says, multiply, creating more hazards for you. You can take them all out one by one, or use clairvoyance to see the true version shown by them being green. Now, every enemy has this yellow bar beneath their health. This is the crush gauge. Basic attacks don't damage this really, mainly goes for the health, but doing those psycho tosses into the rush follow-ups or the vice versa version does work on this meter. And once empty, basically sets up a stagger, opening them up for a finisher just by going up to him and pressing L2. Bosses you fight are the same people over and over throughout the story, but you have some fun back and forth and can get a juggle or two on them. Not too shabby. And that's Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, this is how you do a squad-based, assist-heavy action game. I've covered some here and there in the past, and yeah, you end up not playing a role in most fights, kinda just there. But here, you're playing an active part in everything like you should. And this is a beefy ARPG too. It has a lot going on in a fun way, not just because of the craziest combo stuff going on, but there's a whole other character I didn't even mention that you can play as too. And you can play their story, you can use NG Plus to start their story or replay your characters. And yeah, get to experience new story beats and check out a whole new playstyle. And yeah, it can come off as mashy by the end because of all the options you get, but it's smart mashing. Okay, so play-by-play time. I see an enemy winding up an attack, so I clock clairvoyance for that stronger counter hit to get a knockdown. After, I manually end it to meter manage. Then I put on hyper armor, since there's another enemy nearby ready to hit me as I'm charging this attack up to deal heavy crush damage. Now they're super close to be staggered afterwards, but I don't have enough time to charge again. So I called my assist to combo off me to deal strong and fast crush damage at the cost of their cooldowns, to get that little nudge I needed to stagger them, which allows me to end with the glory kill finish. So yeah, there's some thought going on. And plays like this happen pretty often. It's kinda cool. Plus it's just a fun ride how you get there. You start with the little stuff, then you have your whole squad at your fingertips to combo a single enemy by the end. Breaking their guard, quick swapping to get a strong counterattack. When they're stunned, you can slow time, get duplicates, dish out the damage on them, or go into the powered up states. You know, tossing hyper armors maybe to tank something. You can focus on an enemy and all that. And yeah, kind of wild. So if you want another over the top ARPG with a lot of content, and it's just super fun to dig into, well, this is an easy recommendation for me, no question. And I have some more clips left over, so I'm just gonna let them play out for a second. Enjoy.